Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. However you happen to be watching and or listening to this, I want to welcome you to the latest episode of the Gaming Circle podcast. The podcast where this week, we're about 10 minutes late. I will also fair warn you that your host is a little bit under the weather. So is most of the family members in my house. So this might be an interesting show. I lost my voice if you can't hear me. I'm your host, Mr. K. Asante, TK Asante, and all the places we communicate. And I am, of course, joined by the great one, the one who's always late but always on time, Mr. Everborn Saga. Good morning, sir. What's going on, man?
What's happening? Don't blame me. Blame Expedition 33.
Oh, so you were playing Expedition 33?
Maybe not.
Son of a... All right, well, we're going to get into that. Because I will tell you, you will be doing the heavy lifting on Expedition 33 because I am not ready to talk about it yet. Honestly, I'm playing it. I'm not far into it. I'm definitely not as where you are. So I'm not ready to speak on it yet. And as I've been around folks within our community who have really some things to say about it, you know, you have to traverse a certain divide before you can talk about it. So I will leave that heavy lifting to you, good sir. But you know what? I see Aaron in the chat. he's so very excited for this moment. But you know what? We're gonna get into
about
it.
8 hours in now.
8 hours? Okay, yeah. Nah, bro. No, I mean I can regale you with tales from Oblivion, and I may do that. But yes, we're gonna get into some games talk today, and we appreciate y'all being here. But let's get into some housekeeping first. First and foremost, thanks to all the great folks that are here, people that are listening, people that tune in live, and people who tune in a little later. We appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for continuing to support the channel and supporting the podcast. Shout out to Mr. Wolf. I see you in there with them eyes, bro. What's going on, bro? I hope you're doing well. All the great folks that are here hanging out with us this weekend. I will ask, if you haven't already done so, check out the spoiler discussion that myself, great community member Lucius Augustus, and the great Infinite Umbra, who's also in the chat. We had that last week. We dropped that in the feed. Wanted to drop it a little later because I wanted anyone who wanted to have the opportunity to play it, be unspoiled, had the opportunity to do so. And now I would ask, if you have a chance to, go check it out. I think you'll find that our conversation may kind of crystallize things for you. It might be a little fruitful for you for a little another level of understanding of what you were playing. It was a very great game. We loved it. So shout out once again to Compulsion and the team for an awesome game. And if you haven't checked it out, go check out the game and check out the spoiler discussion. But Mr. Everborn Saga, sir, I guess this week I gotta warn you, I'm running on a little bit of fumes because my house is full of the cooties. It went through my wife, my daughter, and now my son. I'm not feeling too great, so this might be a little short one. I will tell you, but we can go ahead and get started, sir. I know you want to talk about it. Do you just want to start with Expedition 33, or do you have other games that you want to start with first?
I got a few other things I tried this week.
Okay.
By the way, before I get to things that I tried, something I bought yesterday, finally, which I wanted from day one, was Dragon Ball Sparking Zero.
Yes.
I had my eye on that game from day one, but the damn thing never goes on sale. Just never. And so I think there was like like I got, Steam will send you a notification like an item on your wish list is on sale.
Mm-hmm.
And then even on sale, it was like $53. And I'm like, this game's 6 months old. What are we doing?
That Nintendo business model. It is what it is.
Yeah. So, but then I checked the Deals GG, and Green Man Gaming had it for like $43. So I was like, all right, I still think this is high for a 6-month-old game, but this is the best it's going to get. So I picked that up. I'm going to try that later. And then there's another game called Steel Seed.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
So
I've been hearing a lot of interesting talk about Steel Seed. Have you actually played it? Talk about it.
yes, I put maybe an hour into it.
Okay.
But and I would have it. The reason it's only an hour is just because this week was disgusting with game releases, and so
This is,
I would say
sir,
to the
this
point
is
of
going to
this.
be a talking point today. It's going to be a
Um,
talking point today. We are going to have a conversation
yeah,
about this week. But yes, continue.
and I played a little bit of Oblivion. I think I put like 2.5
Mhm.
hours in that. But I'm gonna let you talk about that because I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
put most of my time on the elephant in the room that is Expedition 33.
Uh-huh.
But back to Steel Seed. So the best way I could describe it is like a maybe a lower budget and less fan servicey Stellar Blade.
Okay.
You know,
A
just
bunch of
like
robots.
yeah, you're fighting robots. It's and I'm not comparing it to Stellar Blade. I'm just saying like maybe that's the wrong comparison, but you are like a humanoid robot thing. You're a little bit too quirky for what's going on because I think the game tells you in the opening that like you thought you were alive and now you have this RoboCop body and you're in this world run by machines. You're trying to get out. The set pieces are bigger than you would expect for a AA game. It's definitely a AA game. The combat is very interesting, although like South of Midnight, and again, I'm only an hour into it, so we'll see how much better the enemy stuff gets. But I would say the combat's more robust than Stellar Blade. But you get a sword, you can do your combos, you can do your parries, you can do some stealth, pull people over corners. So you know, it's a like I don't want to say it's punching above its weight because it is like a $40 game, although you can get it on sale from Steam if you get it right before May 1st. So you can get it for 30 something dollars right now. And I think it's totally worth it for that. Obviously, some of it is not as polished as some of these $200 million AAA games, but they don't.
Do you know the vibe this game is giving me?
Tell me.
And it's a different kind of game, but I don't know why it's giving me that same vibe. It's giving me Shadow Complex vibes. Have you ever played Shadow Complex?
I haven't, but the opening of this game, and I'm gonna tell you tell me what Shadow Complex is like, but the opening of the game with the set pieces, with the little robot thing that you talk to, it's very sort of Star Wars-ish, like Jedi Survivor, the way that game opens. You get a lot of that here, right? So anyway, if you're looking to spend $30 on sale, I think this is a very interesting game, and I'm definitely going to come back to it. But I've just been bombarded. But this is one of the kind of things I would play.
Very cool. Very cool.
Like you're going to see now. This is from the opening, so you're going to see him pull somebody over the edge.
I like that. I like that cool, like the cool, you're invisible, but you can still kind of see him in the environment thing. That's pretty cool. I like that. That's nice.
Yeah.
And so it's definitely an indie team, but they kind of shooting their shot a little bit strong on this one, huh?
Yeah. And you know what? I think that's the I don't know what you had planned to talk about today, but I think that's
discussion talk of the day. Yes.
I want to have because we were having it with Lucius Augustus of the GC.
The game is called Steel Series, Steel Seed.
Steel Seed, which sounds like a Jamaican performance enhancement route, but that's neither here nor there.
Indeed.
I like the way the combat happens. I like the new enemies they introduce. I like that, like when you start fighting one, they begin to swarm. So it's very fun. I didn't even see this path they took. So it seems like they're going to do something different than I did because I just went in guns blazing here. And then you get the little robot thing that you can send on missions. This is why I say it's like if South of Midnight had the enemies free roaming, basically, is the best way I could describe it, because that thing is like Crouton, right? And then you can use it to help you attack. So it's like I like it a lot, but again, I'm only talking about from the first hour into it. So if you're looking for like a shorter experience, just it's not even no frills because it's a lot of set pieces, but like you can see right here, there's no reason the AA game should be having set pieces. Like
yeah. But these are the parts where I feel like I'm getting a lot of Shadow Complex vibes, where it's like a small diorama game, but then it pulls back and it's like the scope and scale is just massive, you know?
Right.
Yeah, it's cool. Very cool. I will check this out.
Yeah, this was one I think it's worth it for 30 some odd dollars. Obviously, I played more Game of Thrones King's Road, which I was glazing last week. Everybody, I promised that I would give you guys someone a code to King's Road, because I really think more people should try it. But there is still a bug where you cannot gift the game. So as soon as that is fixed, I will be giving out at least one, maybe more.
Let me read a quick super chat.
Yeah.
Shout out to the great face 23 VKNY with a $20 super chat. He says, Karante. Now I know there's another person in the chat who has a similar name, but I'll let that one slide. What you posted on Twitter about the PS5 Pro is not true. I own a Pro, and when the PSN went down, I was still able to play my disc games. You only have to link the disc drive to your PS5 Pro once after with the internet. After that, you good. Now, sir, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being a supporter and someone who checks out the channel and listens to the stuff, and we appreciate your kindness. I will say what I meant by that Twitter post that I said was in order to counteract the idea that when you buy a physical disc in general, you own it. You kind of don't, because like you said, you had to authenticate it with the internet, right? If for example, and this was discussed, we were talking about lineage, passing games on, for example, right? Let's say your PS5 Pro is in the attic somewhere collecting dust, and one day one child somewhere picks it up one day. This is what we're talking about, lineage, right? And you turn it on and the servers backing it are now gone. None of those discs you have work. That's what the whole conversation ultimately was about, right? But I do understand that they have set up the system so that even if there are short-term little issues here and there, you're still able to play your games, and that's great. We appreciate that. Right? But I'm sorry. Continue, Everborn. You want to continue to talk about some other games you're playing?
Yeah, Face 23 was on your neck.
He's trying to be, yeah, of course, it's fine.
But just
shadow boxing is what's happening here.
A little bit of more of the King's Road stuff. Reminding everybody, I am recommending it, but it is early access and it does have bugs. One thing I will say, as having played some more of it, is I'm beginning to understand the concerns around progression. Right. When this game releases,
you're starting to feel the what do you call it? The dang it, what is it? The black hole game pull?
No, because this game's not like it is, but it's not, right? They're trying to turn a single player experience into a black hole thing, and it is still first and foremost a single player experience, right? Which is the only reason you're catching Everborn. Try it out. But so what they do, they have a momentum system in the game, right? And you get momentum by doing things in the game, right? Like you can hunt bandits, right? You can clear bandit camps, give it back to the commoners. You can find gear, and that will give you momentum. So this is basically like your XP system, momentum, right?
Yeah.
But in order to do you can do any quest when you want, but they'll tell you this area of the map, or so it's like areas of the map will have different difficulty levels, right? So that doesn't scale, which I think I like that. So like if I was lower level and then I leveled up and I come back to an area, I'm one-shotting everybody, right?
Yep.
But but certain parts of the map, like the difficulty level increases. So they say your recommended momentum is this amount. You can go do this mission if you want, but you better be damn good or you're going to get one shot, right? So like technically the moment you open the game, you could go to King's Landing, but if you do, they're taking away 1,000, right? They're taking away 1,000 HP with one hit, and you only have 200 HP when you start, right? So it's that kind of thing. But they're very good about letting you know. You know, like Elden Ring, you go into a place you shouldn't be, you just die, and there's no warning. This they'll tell you, but the problem is the mainline story takes place all over the map. So they might send you to somewhere when you're trying to mainline it, and that's a more dangerous area of the map. And you got to meet somebody, have a conversation, do whatever you got to do, help a little skirmish, help a war that's happening. So it's weird that you're trying to mainline it, but you can't. You could, but you're probably gonna die. You're trying to mainline it, but you can't because they have not took you along the story so that you will have enough experience at that point to be at the level of the people they're sending you to go talk to. So you then you have a mainline quest, but then you're gonna have to go do something else in the game. As I said, there are raids that you could do, and that's a party system. It's like you're going into a dungeon. That's the only multiplayer element of it, and it's separate from the game. Or there is sort of memories from old trees. I can't remember the name of the trees, but that's when you have to fight the first men, like the tree people. That's like a sort of a horde mode thing. So you fight them, and then you'll get momentum like that. And then you'll just look for any side quests you can, or try to upgrade your equipment. All of that will give you more momentum, and that's how you raise. But if you just want to mainline it, and that is something that a lot of people like to do, it's going to be very difficult, and it's forcing you to interact with the other elements of the game. So I say all that to say that is the reason I think you'll see people that have 67 hours, 140 hours tell you it starts very strong, but then the amount of momentum that is required from story mission to story mission as it progresses vastly increases. So I might be able to say, all right, now I got to take an hour and go do some other stuff, but later on, this is going to take me all day to get my momentum up, and it feels like you're hitting these brick walls. So anyway, I just wanted to I understand some of the criticism now. I do think the main product itself
I have a question.
Is still worth checking out.
So are you saying is this an issue where, because I get why they'd want to kind of funnel players into different experiences. I mean, we built this complete experience. We don't want you to mainline the thing. We want you to experience everything we've built, so we purposely make it difficult for you to traverse the next mainline quest until you filled it in with some of these other things. That makes perfect, from a gaming centric perspective, gaming design perspective.
It absolutely makes perfect sense. But
I guess my question is, in that, what they're asking you to go contend with, what they're asking you to go fill in that time with, is the quality of experience not as good as that mainline quest, and that's what's causing people issues?
So being early on, it's not. But what I hear from people with 100+ hours is those things that you have to do get repetitive. They are not yet, but you're talking to somebody who's 15 hours into the game.
Okay.
Right. I might have a completely different story. The other thing I will say is because I was reading a lot of those reviews, and people were saying like they're funneling you into the sort of monthly subscription that's going to give you a certain amount of gold and a certain amount of whatever. You don't have to do any of that. You don't have to pay, but the things that they are offering you are these quality of life things, and it gets annoying. Like, so for example, fast travel, you have to pay in-game currency for, right? Unless you unlock the free fast travel. You could buy that with money, or you could use the in-game currency to do it. But people will say, well, you know, that's,
let me guess, the in-game currency will take you like 60, 70 hours to grind it out.
yeah,
Or you could just
well,
pay 15
well,
bucks
well,
to buy it real quick.
you could, but you could also, because they're very good about this,
Mhm.
you could just click through every item in the tutorial and they give you in-game currency to do it. If you just go to the tutorials in the menu, click forward, there's like 40 different tutorial things, and you will get like 5 in-game currency for each one you click through, right? Like you then have like 200 in-game currency, which is what it costs to buy the free fast travel. So everything they're doing is sort of incentivizing you to look here, learn how to play the game. If you do, you can fast travel for free because you can use that money to do that, right? You understand what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
So, and it's early access, and so I think the issue is that people's complaints aren't unwarranted, but that's why it's early access, and they've acknowledged that they need to balance out how much they're asking you to do, like how much the momentum that they give you versus how much it increases from the mainline mission, so that you don't start to feel like it's tedious. Because as soon as you feel that and you're clocking into work to play a game, then you don't want to do it. So they have to. What I'm saying is I agree with the system in place, but it needs to be balanced such that people don't feel bored or like they've hit a wall. Hopefully that makes sense. Anyway, next game.
Are you sticking with it?
Unless you have more questions.
Last question. No, that last question. Are you sticking with it? In the world where we are in, are you sticking with it?
I would have stuck with it if 2 RPGs didn't get dropped on my head in the same week.
Would have and if. Okay, we are moving on.
No, what do you? What am I not gonna play Expedition 33?
Hey man, I'm just asking the question. So I'm just asking the question.
So yeah. Since Oblivion came out, I have not touched the Game of Thrones game, but I it's not because I'm like fed up with it or anything. It is just like it's too many damn games. I want to think if one more thing and then we can get on to the main thing. Mandragora.
Why does that sound familiar to me?
It is a beautiful
Metroidvania. It's like with an insanely like high level animation style, like just nuts, sword and board.
Yes.
I played it 2 years ago, the demo during the Steam Next Fest. I remember it.
Think about Prince of Persia Lost Crown mixed with Diablo is the best way I can explain it. It is kind of an RPG-ish Metroidvania. It is 3D, but in a 2D perspective as a Metroidvania. The story is like religious zealots. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Listen, these other RPGs might if Expedition 33 wasn't so good, this is what I would have been playing instead of everything else. So in other words, it's looking scary for Game of Thrones because there's too many.
But this is my question. Like this is the reason why I was asking you. Are you going to stick with it?
Hey, and you're just like,
yeah. I'm sorry. I'll put it back. 1 moment, please. I'll put the footage right back right here. Okay, so here we go. Anyway, so continue. Yes.
Yeah. So story very interesting. It's very, very dark. This is like the first mini boss fight that you do. There's a character creator. So it's I'm not like the controls are not as tight as Prince of Persia. It's a little more kind of
so the world. Can I say something weird? The world, just as I'm watching the footage right now, the world eerily reminds me of Ori.
Oh yeah. I could see.
It's like humans are now walking in the same world that Ori was in.
Yeah, but even
It's
Ori
really
was
weird.
still 2D. This is 3D, right?
No, it is no, but Ori had a 2D. It was also 3D in a 2D plane. It had that vibe.
No. What I'm saying is like the way like they gave it that vibe, and you did have some 3D elements in it, but like this is a
Yeah.
little more 3D than Ori. But
Yeah.
again,
Yeah. And
it,
shout out to the man who I almost hit the wrong button there. Who we would have been like, goodbye,
no
folks.
rest for the wicked.
No rest for the wicked. Absolutely. I agree. It has the same kind of lineage. It looks like that same style. Yep.
Yeah.
More people should be playing that game, by the way. I hope that comes to console soon.
Yeah, I'm just waiting. I have it. I saw the big update. I'm interested to get, but I just need that 1.0.
Yeah, me too.
I say this after I'm like glazing Game of Thrones, which is super early access, like nowhere near as polished as No Rest for the Wicked, like not even close. But I guess I can only do one early access game at a time. So yeah, this is a little awesome. This is it's slower paced than Lost Crown and Ori. And the combo system doesn't feel as tight. It's more like you're doing one slash at a time, but I'm very, very early in the game. So this also you can get for 30 some odd dollars. So this is another one. If you are, is it as hard or frustrating as Blasphemous? It is not as difficult as Blasphemous, and I did not think Blasphemous was frustrating. It was always a me problem when I couldn't beat a boss. But the parry system, I wish this had the parry system of Blasphemous. And then I think this would be golden. Skill tree is huge on this, by the way. That's why I don't want to say it's not as robust of a combat system. You know what I mean?
So if you put enough time into it, it could be very, very, very like
it could look at that. Look at that.
That's monstrous.
Scary.
Wow. Indeed. And that's one section. There's that's the red section. There's multiples. That's amazing.
So
you'll be busy with this for a while.
It seems like it's going to be a big game. I having just did Blasphemous 1 and 2. I need a palate cleanser. It's called Mandragora.
Mandragora, ladies and gentlemen, Mandragora. Beautiful, beautiful artwork. Obviously our StreamYard choppy, terrible footage doesn't do it justice. It's a beautiful game. You need to check it out.
Yeah. So again, if you're looking for the new hotness in terms of Metroidvanias, this is it. And it's doing. I like that it's doing its own thing. I can see inspiration in it, but like, you know, Ori combat is very different from Prince of Persia: Lost Crown, which is very different from Blasphemous. So even though like I'm kind of used to certain kinds of combat that this is not, this is still very clearly doing its own thing. So but you see what I mean? Like the combo system is just kind of hack slash. It doesn't really feel like
it's not as robust just yet. Yeah, but it might be getting there once you open it up a bit more. We shall see. Yeah, that's good.
But yeah, so play this for a little bit. And then I'm gonna let you talk about this.
The boot is on the neck real quick. Lucius is asking why this is why Everborn will not finish Expedition 33, Avowed, Monster Hunter, Assassin's Creed, and 6 other games he bought day one. Boot.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there. First of all, I have more hours in Expedition 33 than this, right? I'm 8 hours in, so I don't know if Lucius, I don't know if you got 8 hours in.
See. Know what? No. I will stop you there, sir. Your first mistake, Everborn Saga, is trying to compete with these young bloods who don't have wives and children. I bet you that man's already beaten the game. So I'd call myself.
All I'm saying is I have more in that than this, right? And the reason I didn't finish Avowed is because I kept getting put to sleep by that damn boring voice that talks to you on the rock. Okay.
So what if they do a PC mod update that makes that voice like turn into like DMX?
No, they let it be Patrick Stewart. How about that? He's been
man.
Then Assassin's Creed, I just don't have 100 hours right now.
Okay.
And I would have started that if what do you call it? Now
I
Monster
have started
Hunter,
it, and I've kind of put it down myself. Like I love it, and I will continue it, but it's too much. Yes,
I have no excuse. But the only reason I got that on day one is because my nephew is really into that game, and he's in my Steam family. So, by the way, I just status report because I've given away 3 Steam Decks now to the family, 2 OLEDs and an original. These are not technical people. It's my niece, my nephew, and LeVar, right? My brother. Not one of them have had any issues using it.
Not a peep, right? Not a peep.
There's no tech support calls. They're like, oh, a new game showed up in the thing. That's it. They just look at it, they play. And if it doesn't run, you know what they'll do? Oh, this one doesn't have the green check mark, or they'll just go to YouTube and be like, best Steam Deck settings. That's it.
Hey man,
that is all.
What are we talking about here, Mr. Inferno Games? He says, I am excusing lack of commitment.
Oh, hold on. Let's stop. I'm gonna stop you right there, Mr. Inferno. Talk to me about the lack of commitment that I just put into Blasphemous 1 and 2 for a total of 120 hours between the two of them. Okay, that's what I just know life that, and now I'm trying to find the next thing. And to that end, the next thing is Expedition 33. I will say.
Hold on. Let us put some ground rules up here. How far are you going?
No, I'm not going to bring up any spoilers.
Okay, so if that's the case,
I don't want to ruin it.
I'm not going to put normal footage on it. Instead, I will play footage from the great Xbox era, their review of it. I'll just play their footage. It's just straight up normal footage. There will be no spoiler talk, so we'll do that, right? And I will ask, gentlemen and ladies, if you have a chance to check out Xbox Era's review. They did a great job. So, Everborn, what are your thoughts, sir?
I am in love with this game. Like it came out. What day did it come out? Thursday? Whatever day it came out. I put 4 hours straight into it, like played till 1 a.m, right? And then I played again this morning for another few hours, and like I cannot put the game down. It starts so strong from a conceptual standpoint, and then they get you emotionally. They do a really good job of getting you emotionally invested into why you are going on this quest that you have to go on. And
beautiful world building, awesome storytelling.
The characters all look cool. Shout out to John Wolfe. And it is the most French game I've ever played.
FRPG, son. FRPG.
This is more French than anything Ubisoft has ever done.
Yes.
But like the story, so there's certain things in RPGs that you put up with because the story kind of keep you going, right? Yep. And that's the Arc de Triomphe, just broken in half. And the story alone, if it was nothing else, is enough to be a driving force in this game. Then you have the sort of presentation of it all, which is the art direction, character design, and music, which is top notch, right? By the way, it looks like the main character is Robert Pattinson, but it is actually the guy that plays Daredevil, which his name escapes me.
Yes.
Charlie Cox.
Charlie Cox,
right?
Yes.
And there's just the voice acting in this is.
And by the way, before you move on from the face, from the likeness, yes, it does look like Robert Pattinson. Yes, the voice is Charlie Cox, but I will tell you, when I saw this behind closed doors in Germany, the face was literally the name, the main, one of the main developers' face. He also looks very much like that. His hair is still the same. The guy looked like he's just stepped out off of they're French. He looks like he just stepped off of a runway, very cool in his way, and we made fun of him for it. So they kind of just changed the guy's face at last minute just a little bit, but by and large, that character was really cool from day one because it's kind of the likeness of one of the developers. One of the art designers. I'm sorry, one of the art designers. Forgive me. Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out to Aaron. Thank you.
So like these are. So people are saying that this is like these are QTE, like quick time events, and the thing is, they are, but I don't know if you can call them that in a turn-based game. And I'm going to talk about the combat in a second because that's where I think this thing stands out. And I'm not like, oh my God, best RPG of all time or anything like that. But I do think this reactive combat system it keeps you so engaged in the battle, right? Like whether you want to do the freeform shoot because you can just aim and shoot and hopefully get a weak point. You can do your magic and plus it by pressing the buttons at the right time. You can jump, you can dodge, you can parry depending on the attacks, and if you do it in time, you can, even though it's not your turn, never get hit. That in and of itself, and the sort of risk reward of the you see, they did it right there.
So may I jump? Can I jump in real quick with a quick question? What do you think of this statement? And this those who have watched this show long enough will snicker when they hear this because this seems to be a theme that's building here. Shout out to Discord community member Stilo Facts. What do you think to the term that this is the Souls-like of turn-based games?
I disagree. It's not that hard. Okay. I'm playing on normal. I've maybe died once or twice, and both times it was completely my fault. Like I was getting too parry happy because of the reward of the what, like, because here's the thing, you automatically attack if you parry correctly, and you'll take away like triple whatever your normal attack rate is if you do that, right? So it is much easier to dodge just timing wise. And it but again, the expert, damn. Right? you lucky I'm not playing on journalist mode, sir. But yeah, it's just the push forward to keep going and just wanting to get into combat. It's just very fun in the execution of it all. And I know that other games have had this active or reactive.
There's been many.
Paper Mario does it.
There you go. Yes, Paper Mario does it. Yes, Lucius also just pointed out that Sea of Stars, which is also a really great turn-based game that came out on Game Pass, that also had it. Like there have been a few that use this. It's very rhythmic in this way, and I love it. It's really awesome.
Yeah. Another thing I like here is like here's a point, like a pro tip for the parry or the dodge. Don't look at the animation. Listen to the sound.
Yes, it's a rhythm.
The sound is going to be different for each enemy. But once you know what that sound is, press it as soon as you hear the sound, not when you see them about to hit you.
Yep. Speak to the visuals, man. Speak to the presentation. I think these guys sat down and studied all the best work of all of the Persona games and all the visual aspects there. And you know what? Let's do our version.
Final Fantasy in presentation, like in visual fidelity, but Persona in presentation, I should say, right? And again, I understand this is a AA game, and there are certain things that you can see that. By the way, I think I might need to turn off DLSS on this because I think it's doing something weird with the hair strands.
Yeah,
because I'm not seeing it here in these shots, but I see like artifacting in the hair strands. And I'm using DLSS with a DLAA setting. So maybe
what I hear is actually better. and this is a bit of quick tech that we can drop in here for those who have this a feature. If you have a 40 series card, and of course if you have a 50 series card, they have the override, the 4.0 overrides. And I hear that if you do a 4.0 override on this game, the newer version is very clean, and you won't see as much artifacting. The newer process that they're applying to the override, and by override, there's a new process for DLSS and DLAA and all of that.
In the game, or do you have to mess with some INI files?
No, you don't have to mess with any INI files. Since an update that NVIDIA has released, driver updates, you can go to the NVIDIA app, where NVIDIA is, right? And just go under, because it scans your drive and knows where every game is. Go under Expedition 33, click the override button, and it'll use the newer version of the AI upscaling instead of the older. And it looks to have upgrades that fix up some of those artifacts that people have noticed.
Okay,
a bunch of games that this is working on. So just a pro tip if you want to check it out.
Yeah. So another thing is, this is the overworld,
which is really also very interesting.
It is interesting.
I like that overworld.
I don't know if it's adding much to the game yet, because you usually have to run a couple of feet, and the thing you need to go to is right in front of you. So it's almost like, why did we go through here? What is this, a loading screen? But it looks super cool. It's just doesn't have much functionality to the overworld.
But you know what it's for? I feel like it's made by people who went, you know what, when we were kids, this was the overworld, and now this is what we can do because we're putting our foot down, right? It's an evolution of our kids' imagination of the overworld. Right? You can tell the people who made this have a real love for those old games. They're just applying all the new modern sensibilities to it. It's really cool.
Yeah. So the enemy designs are really cool. I don't know, the other interesting thing is switching from character to character, so the one in the middle, Luna, I think that's how you say her name. If you run with her, she'll fly or whatever. She seems to be the most powerful in my, she's even more powerful than Gustav, and she's leveling up at the same rate as him. So every time we level up, she's just always a little bit more stronger than him. But great asset to the team. Now, one thing I do not like, is when you are in, you're not in the overworld, you're in the main, you're in an area, right, an open zone. There's no map.
Yeah,
and it is very easy to get lost. So
it's a semi-linear game, so you can't really lose your way. But yes, it would have been cool if it had a map. It really would have been cool if it had a map. I agree.
No. You don't understand. You don't understand. Especially when you go to the Red Tree Garden or whatever it is. These places are like mazes, right? And it is near impossible. Or for me anyway, just to figure out how. Where I've been, you got to go to a place 3 times before you remember an artifact. So, yes. See, Aaron has experienced this as well. But it is going to be hard. And as I said, as Lucius said, as Major said, other games have done a reactive system before. But I think this pulls it off in a way that is more engaging, at least in the ones that I've played, right? This pulls off the reactive system in such a way where if you're going to go turn-based, I feel like you just need to steal this. And I don't care who did it first. Steal this. These guys did it really well, right? And again, praise to everybody else that did it, but take this.
Well, like what we also were talking about. They also clearly took a lot of the visual cues from development studios like Atlas and whatnot, right? Look at the UI UX implementations. They're very, very, very avant-garde in their way and interesting and forward facing and whatnot. I'm sure it was a pain in the butt to do. Every time I've heard Atlas speak about how they do the UI UX, they do it great every time, but they always complain about how terrible of a time it takes to get it to get it just right.
Yeah. So Ben Starr's also in this game. I don't know why I can't think of his name right now, but he played Gollum in the Lord of the Rings movie.
Oh my goodness! Now you're gonna make me get his name. That's right. Yeah,
the villain in Black Panther.
Yes.
One. Done so many things, like the
one of the greatest mocap artists in the world. Yes, we understand.
Right.
Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis. Yes, he's also in the game.
Thank you, Al. Appreciate you, sir.
So it's just that everything, the sight sound roller coaster of it all is just so good. And again, you just feel a sense of power with every attack. It's very rewarding, right? Yeah. I'm always like excited when I get in a battle, to the point where like I'm like, give me some more enemies, right? And so I don't know. I cannot recommend this enough. This is the thing I'm going to be no-lifing until it's done. You are wrong, Mr. Augustus. Everything else is going on hold until this is done.
Damn. Strong words, sir. Strong. Okay.
I am 8 hours in and no sign of slowing down. By the way, and I do want to talk about this. 30 people in this studio.
Oh yeah.
Started with 2 people, went to 30 people.
Yep.
Like
just a couple buddies working in it. Yeah. Like Aaron says, you got it, everyone. Head straight for that spoiler cast.
But like and the scores on this are great, and from what I'm playing so far, it is just well deserved. Now I there's 2 things I want to ask, right? And I had a conversation with Slow-Mo, a friend of the channel, about this earlier in the week. Does Square, not specifically Square, but Final Fantasy, is Final Fantasy on notice? Because since Final Fantasy, I don't know, when did they make the pivot to action in the Final Fantasy series?
Remake.
No, but I think remake is
wasn't that the first? No, I think that was the first time they showed it off.
Because 15 had the action.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I think
and I think 14 is action as well.
Was it?
Yeah, but again,
new engine they changed to that paved the way for that. Yeah, go ahead.
Once again, I think the point I'm coming to is there's a lot of Final Fantasy fans that want them to go back to turn-based or something more. And like, I just wonder, like, do they need to be paying attention to this?
Oh yeah.
Right? Like I really think it is gonna be like, if you're making a game that is this level of fidelity or whatever, and it's turn-based,
this is awesome.
I'm gonna be like, are you coming at this level? Right?
Check out what Alvin says here. Alvin says that the official Final Fantasy VII Twitter account congratulated them, enthusiastically responded. That's awesome, man.
That's good. That's game recognized game.
That's right. That's right. Beautiful.
But no, I say this to say I would love to see the next Final Fantasy, which isn't coming out anytime soon because they still got to do the third in the 7 remake. But whatever the next mainline Final Fantasy is, I would love for them to adopt a system like this. And don't worry about if you're stealing. Listen, good artists borrow, great artists steal. Right? It's just this is fantastic. Now, the real And listen, some people are saying maybe Atlas got to go on notice too.
Right? Nah, so okay. I wouldn't say.
I'm not making that claim. I'm just saying this is what I've heard some people say.
Sure. Okay. It is good to have competition. I appreciate that. That's good. Honestly, ladies and gentlemen, I bet you prepare yourselves. You're gonna hear me gush and lose my mind over this thing next week. I just started it. I just got through. I'm feeling my way through it, but of course life has been happening and I haven't been feeling great, and the kids and all, family and all that. So I need about 2, 3, 4, 12, 18 hours of silence. Once I come back to Earth, I'll talk to y'all about it. So chances are next week you'll hear me chat all about this thing too. But Everboard, anything else you wish to discuss with?
Yes. By the way, Dr. Dry Rub in the chat.
What a classic code. Axiom Verge 2. What a brilliant game. If you get that, thank the man, because that's a beautiful game. Awesome game.
Okay. And shout out to Soil Tech. With
the great Soil Tech. He says,
Miyamoto, please like and subscribe. All right. So, but the one thing I will say about this, right?
Oh, that was monster too. The Arkham collection.
Arkham. Very nice. One thing I will say about this game is like I think that we're gonna have to start asking ourselves some questions, right? Which is, this game is not as polished, from just like an animation perspective, or like the fight animations are perfect, but like the overworld and the platforming or whatever, it's not as polished as some of these $200 million AAA games, right? But because of ingenuity in game design and really good art direction and tools from UE5, right?
He said it. Well, the least Umbra's not here. Go ahead, continue.
No, he'll show up. I really have to ask a question, right? Like, do we is the extra level of polish that you get from spending 7 years and $150 to $200 million on a game worth the extra 100? I don't know what the budget on this game was, but
he heard it.
Right. So my question is it worth it, right? Because if ultimately what you're looking at is the experience of what you get and what you take away from it and the art of it, do you need the level of polish that you would get in, say, an Assassin's Creed Shadows, right? Where everything is interactive, you're not using hair cards, as they say, or is what it's really about is the gameplay, the art direction.
See, one thing I would tell you, look, while I agree with you that optimizations need to be made and that they should do a better job, by and large, the gaming industry by and large should do a better job of optimizing for it, instead of bloating, spending, feature creep, and then firing a bunch of people like we've seen, all that. I will say this is an optimized vision of what you're seeing here, and it's putting the emphasis where the emphasis, in your opinion, and I agree with that opinion, belongs, which is the creativity and the gameplay, right? Like a game like AC Shadows, while it's way bigger budget and way bigger scope, it also has its usage and its value as well. It's not to say that just because this did it this way, that now all foliage must be stagnant, because it doesn't have to be, right? They're going for a different thing. Like these guys are trying to tell you this amazing, compelling story and this awesome battle system, and it all works really, really well. And the rest doesn't really matter that much, right? They're using the clear obscure idea to a full extent. For those who don't understand, clear obscure, look it up, is the idea of using light and dark in equal measure, right? That's why if you notice, everything has black background. Everything is black. If you're checking out some of the battle areas, you'll see that some of the areas are very juxtaposed.
For the Ascent.
Ooh, the Ascent's also a great game. Also great. But yeah, needless to say, they're using all that to not only like play with color and visuals and all of that, they're also using it to save themselves money, right? So they don't have to render all of that extra crazy, because what they have on display is freaking amazing, right? So they're doing it right. All I'm saying is, I would say that a game like AC Shadows, while they can shave their corners as well, right? They can also exist and have their world and their ecosystem where everything moves and but still can shave some corners as well. I would love to see that vision, right? And this vision doesn't necessarily negate that genre of style.
I'm not speaking in any forms of absolutes that this is the only.
Oh no,
way.
Of course.
But I'm not what I am advocating for is, unless you are an IP that is at the level of an Assassin's Creed that has sort of pedigree of that.
Scope and scale.
As a whole, the industry should focus more.
This should teach
making
them
more things like this.
Yeah.
And still, if you're a Call of Duty because you print money, if you're an Assassin's Creed because you print money, if you're a God of War, you print money, Spider-Man, you print money. Sure.
Subscribe to the channel.
And then that's great. But like more of this and less of those, because here's what you have to ask yourself, what you're risking, right? If you have that
I know you're reading what he said.
No. But once again, so for the listeners here, Lucius Augustus says, I just don't like the idea that people are advocating that AAA studios should advocate for this level of lack of polish while still charging full price. This game is $50.
Yeah.
And I am getting more enjoyment out of it.
No. I think what he means by the charging full price part is, if you advocate this way, and these guys did it right, but because they did it right, the fear is that the lessons that will be learned by the big mouth breather companies is, less polish, we can still charge them full price. They won't do it right. They'll take the wrong lesson from this. That's, I think, what Lucius is getting at. Lucius, if I'm wrong, let me know.
I mean, sure, but we just got South of Midnight for $40.
True. Which, hey, to be fair, South of Midnight is also very much an indie project. Right? It's very much a project that's been allowed to stand on its own indie.
But it's not from an indie studio, and so what I'm advocating for more is for people to greenlight more projects like this and South of Midnight.
Yep. No doubt, sir.
Right?
You are not wrong.
Nobody's saying that. Like, if they take away from this, let's cut the budget down to $50 million and or cap the budget at $50 million, but still charge 70. That nobody wants that. Then that's not what I'm arguing here. I am only saying that you can take more creative risks when there's less money on the line, because a lot of these big games, they take 7-8 years to produce. Let me not say 7-8. 5 to 7 years.
No, Dr. Dry. If you go and do an expedition, the 33 code, sir, I say let's talk in the DMs and let's do that one real big, sir. Don't put that in the chat. Come on now, that is wild. That is wild, sir. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I think Dr. Dryra does one. We're gonna have to match him.
Yeah, we gotta do a big thing on that one, bro. That's a beautiful thing what you're doing. Thank you, sir. By the way, yes, we'll continue. Everyone, you were saying.
So what I'm saying is, if we could get an industry that is, yes, still giving you the big bespoke engine, state-of-the-art games that are sort of, that have a proven track record, but will greenlight more things like this, that less is on the line. It doesn't have it doesn't have to sell 3 million copies on first day, right?
Yeah.
They just announced this did 500,000 copies on in a day, which
Mhm.
is fantastic, especially in the face of Oblivion, which you will talk about in a second. But that's a success for this game. But it
True.
wouldn't be a success for an Assassin's Creed. And so my
Yeah,
point
very
is,
true.
we need more things like this, and I would love
Shout out
it
to
if
shout out to what's his name? My boy who's been here many times on the show, Mashano Loon, who basically said exactly the same thing. Remember, the juice wasn't worth the squeeze at that point. So it's good that these smaller titles are able to really shoot bigger shots. They're almost kind of like art house movie projects that come out, make all the money, you know. Oh, Evan Bourne, you there?
no, I'm here. So what I'm saying is, like,
Mhm.
I just think if we got back to a place where we had smaller teams, shorter dev times, smaller budget, that those combination of things would lead to more creative games. Things that didn't
Dr.
need-
Dry Rub, go ahead and drop the code, bro. Go ahead and drop the code. People are fighting in the chat now. Go ahead and drop that code, bro. Thank you so much for your generosity, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I want more stuff like this. Not this specifically, but when I see South of Midnight, when I see this, when I see the Oblivion, which is it is not a remaster, it is a remake. They can call it whatever they want.
Yeah, isn't that interesting, right?
Right? Think about film, right?
Yep.
What wins the Oscars every year? It isn't the big $300 million summer blockbuster explosion thing. Those things make all the money, yes.
Yeah.
But it's the movies like Sideways. It's the movies like Call Me by Your Name. It's these kind of things that they have no choice but to be creative, because they can't just throw money at a problem.
Very true. Very true.
Right? So, and again, you get this kind of stuff in the indie space, and that's great. The indie developers create mechanics and are basically the test bed for the bigger publishers to go and borrow and kind of sand the roughness off of. I get that. But like, if we're talking about it, like if we're out here crying when a studio gets shut down because their $150 million game didn't sell 5 million copies, if we're saying, oh my God, we can only get one sequel a generation, and we're still advocating for more of that, then don't complain when those other things happen. Don't complain when they're trying to make a 4-quadrant game that is sure not to turn anyone off, and therefore talks to
all the corners, you know.
Because they spent so much money on it that they have to make sure this thing has no rough edges.
Yep.
Right, and that's fine. If that's all you want, then fine. Understand the risk that comes with that, and then don't cry about it afterwards. But my tirade is done for now. We will have more discussion about Expedition 33. I am sure I'll probably be playing.
Absolutely, we will.
2-3 weeks until I'm done.
We will. Yes, we will.
There's another game that I played, but you played more of it than me.
Well, before we do, let me quickly catch up on some of the super chats and some of the community conversations that are going on here. Thank you guys so much. So, Mr. Problematic Eagle, great man. He's in our chat. He says, I'm not a fan of the QTE stuff. I want to like the game, but I'm not sure I'm going to finish it. Instead, he's going to go back to Oblivion. Hey, to each his own. That
sounds like an action RPG guy.
Possibly, yeah. That's another conversation we're definitely gonna have about what we liked and what we didn't like, and all the various games that are coming at us in the way they're coming at us. There's a conversation we're gonna be having today too.
I want to say one thing about that. There was a lot of concern with.
Stop burying the lead. Don't bury the lead. Let's go.
They dropped Oblivion on.
We're not doing that right now. We're gonna get there. Calm down.
They're both successful, and that's great.
Just stop. We'll get there. Post up. $5 super chat. He says, "Shout out to my brothers. Have a great show." Shout out to the great Post up. It's been a minute, bro. We have to have you back on the show. We always chat with him on the Discord. And on that note, I will once again cheap plug. Join the Discord, man. If you're not part of the Discord, you're doing it wrong. We have a lot of great conversations there. A lot of great community members. Like we're connecting with so many people, having the conversation about games and other things. Always great to chop it up in there. So be a part of it, you know. And then of course, the great John Wolf with $5 super chat. He's also always in the Discord. He says, "Feel better, K Asante. We need you healthy for our Discord battles." Enjoy your weekend, everyone. Absolutely, sir. Thank you. I appreciate you. And then, yes, of course, as we said, Tech, $2. He says, "This is Miyamoto. Please like and subscribe." Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. But all right, let's get back to this thing. So another game that you played and that I played that I want us to talk about. And we didn't talk about it last week. And like it's old enough that I think that people who haven't played it can kind of see it with new eyes because of the way it's been remastered / remade. And that's another conversation I think we're going to have about that. What is this, a remaster or remake? I will once again say, please check out the Xbox Era Oblivion review. I'm using their footage here. They do great work. Lots of really talented folks there. I love all what they do there. I'm using their footage and I'm asking you to go check out the video for yourself. But yeah, man, talk about, I know you played a little bit of this. Like, it's very weird for me to play this game. And I think I've said this a few times. It's very, very weird for me to play this game because I feel like it's not me playing this game again, because it's been so long since I played this thing the first time that I kind of don't remember what it looked like or how it played. Actually, this is what it looked like before. Like, I don't remember how it looked like or how it played back in the day. But every time I see something new or somebody says something, or I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. Oh yeah, it's like it's a shadow of itself in my mind. And like as soon as Patrick Stewart starts spitting his lines, I'm just like right back in it. It is such a nostalgic trip for me, this game. Of course, it was for those.
That's funny you say that, because I own this game. Yeah. I played it a little bit back then. I remember purchasing it. I don't remember anything about it. So this is not. I don't get any nostalgia for it. Game. Yeah, this is basically a new game to me. And just the score, how big the world is, and again, the combat is not like as up to date as some other things. Of course not.
They've done some tweaks, but it's still,
But like, it's just everything about it is really good, like high fantasy. And the world that they set up, and again, it's just looking at this thing makes you want to play more.
Yes, it does.
Are you playing first person or third?
I've been switching back and forth. I've been switching back and forth. Like sometimes, like right now, most of the game I find is more comfortable in first. You can just tell, right? You can just tell that it was kind of built for first, and then they let you do third. So, like, I'm a third person kind of gamer. I enjoy that. But in these kind of games, I'll switch back and forth, and then over time, I'll look at my play style and I'll see that I picked one over another just subconsciously. And subconsciously, I think I've been playing first this time around. Yeah. How about you?
Yeah. Pragmatic Eagle says he explores in third person, but does combat in first person. Which is
an interesting one. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I could absolutely see that. I've been playing mostly third person. But like the further back view, so like you have right now, whoever's playing, they have
the like whole right world
shoulder. So I pull back a little bit from the character, and it feels better in terms of aiming and things like that. But like, I will not lie, sometimes like the first person just feels easier to fight, just because you know where you're attacking. Yeah. But I just like looking at the character run around with all the sort of ray tracing, whatever effects they have going on here, and it just feels good in there. I don't know. I want to get back to this game, but again, Expedition 33 comes first, and then I am gonna at some point no life that Mandragora game. and then there's the Kings Road game. So I don't even know when I'm gonna come to this. Maybe while you guys are playing Tony Hawk, because I don't care about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna love that too. I can't wait for that to come out as well. See,
I would one thing I would Xbox. There's some people that work there that listen to this show. Please don't release anything in June. I'm just trying to get through the games you already released.
Okay,
that's all I'm trying to
do. Thank you, everyone. Saga, you have given me a beautiful segue because we are loving these games. We're talking about these games.
You have to talk about your experience with this, though. You're not getting out of that one.
Okay, so honestly, my time in this game is really awesome. I love this game. I like it fits like a glove. I've played this game like people play Skyrim. I don't follow the path. I don't follow the story because the story and the path I know, right? So I've been running around the world just kind of like playing in and just enjoying the new stuff, enjoying the newness, right? It is very interesting that the combat is very old in its way. Like it makes me think about what the concept of remaster versus remake is, because this is definitely a remaster in some ways, but a remake in others. You know what I mean? Like I was talking to Lucius about it. I wish that they had done the select button to the point where you could like your Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary, where you could press the button and then see at a moment's notice how it used to look, because this feels like how you remembered it, but you know damn well that's definitely not how it was. But it definitely plays that way as well, right? Like it plays old school, it really does, but it's still excellent. It's excellent, right? I'm just getting in trouble, man. I'm running around the world. I'm on my horse. I'm getting in trouble. That's literally what I'm doing, right? And because I know the story and I know that stuff so well, I kind of don't want to like tread old ground right now. I probably will at some point, but for now, I'm just like literally just running around like a bandit doing stupid stuff in the world. I love it. It's really, really fun. I think I'm about, I'd say 20 hours so far, 15, 20 hours, something like that.
That's pretty crazy. Yeah, I think I only clocked 2-3 hours. I mean, I'll go check right now and tell you, but like I didn't put a lot into this because
between the console and the PC and the handheld, I've been playing a lot of it. I love it. It's really, really fun. You know. So I want to bring us back around to this conversation because I've been kind of workshopping this conversation in the Discord, and look, I understand some may have the virtual tomatoes, they may throw it at me, okay? I say this is a wonderful problem to have, but still a problem. And let me vocalize my stream of consciousness here a bit, right? I love that in the year of our Lord 2025, between the first and third parties, we've gotten such a crush of Game Pass games, specifically Game Pass games, right? I wouldn't even say any other, specifically Game Pass games, right? But it's now looking to be that it's a little bit much of a crush, like it's becoming a bit too much of a crush. Now, I know it's easy to say that, and it sounds funny, right? Because before their problem used to be they got no games, nothing's coming out. When's it coming out? And now it's what the heck? Why are there too many games coming out? But it's not that. Hear me when I say this. It's not to say that it's a problem necessarily, because obviously not everybody's going to play every single game, right? And because of that, you have to account for that, right? So there's large swaths of games coming in quick succession, right? I feel like they're really, really putting their foot down and saying, look, this is the year we're telling you that we're really coming out. We're showing you all the games we're releasing. We're putting a stake in the ground to establish the ground to let you know that Game Pass has value. There's no questioning it, right? That's what I think they're doing. But, and here's the button. I know everybody says everything you say before the word but doesn't mean anything. I really do mean everything I said, but still, here we go. Here's my worry, right? Much like how back in the past, console manufacturers specifically, were training the regular general consumer in what I perceive as a negative way, meaning, hey, you're playing 480p. No, 720p. 1080p makes you a better gamer. Now 1440p is the buzzword. Now it's 4K. And they pushed themselves in such a corner to a point where now they have to facilitate loss leader hardware in a big way to keep up with the Joneses that they started, right? They didn't just allow everyone to just play, right, and let the creativity shine. Instead, because they were in the market and they were debating back and forth, obviously, because they were competing, it became, what is the best way we can compete, right? And it became, hey, resolution, our power, all of that. I fear that, let me finish that off. The power narrative and all that became the talking point, and they got themselves to a place where they even realized they made mistakes and they had to pull back, right? And now it's not about 1080p. It's not a step ladder anymore. It's a little bit further. They're trying to re-educate the public that, hey, different devices can do different things and are smart in their own way. So don't necessarily be all about, oh, if it's not 4K, it sucks, right? They are now trying to retrain the public. I fear that in that way, throwing so many insanely awesome games at people one after another, not even giving people breathing room to a place where they can enjoy it for a quick moment before you smack them across the face with another, will eventually get them to a place where they're democratizing those special snowflakes that are games. I worry about that very slightly, right? Like my example in that is this. I would contend that this game, Oblivion, is Microsoft's or Xbox's version of the Demon Souls remake, right? An old game that they've put beautiful spit shine to, and now it's so much better, right? I believe that, like, it could do so much more. It could have had so much more of a time in the sun, right? But because it's one among many and they're smacking you across the face with many, those who love it will continue to love it. But the story is moving on because Expedition 33 is epic and it needs to be talked about as well, right? And then Expedition 33 is out and it's enjoying itself, and we're going to enjoy ourselves, and it's going to be epic and awesome. And then Tony Hawk, for those who love that, will love that. And then after that, everybody will focus on Doom: The Dark Ages. I feel like over time, we're kind of democratizing these epic, monstrous 6, 8, 10-year projects that require their time in the sun. You know, I feel like just a little bit, and I'm not sure, you know, if what we're doing here will have similar in the 4K, the 1080p to 4K stepladder conversation. I fear that it may one day come about that they then go, oh, we didn't mean to make you think that all these things aren't themselves very much worthy of their time in the sun. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're becoming one catalog item after another, right? And that is my fear. That's the only thing I'm a little fearful of. People in the chat, let me know what your thoughts are. I think Everborn, did you step away? Are you back yet? Yeah, I think Everborn stepped away.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, he's back. So if you're back,
yeah, I have to make a shot of coffee.
Oh, no worries, bro. Tell me your thoughts on that. Again, I am not saying this is gloom and doom. I love this problem. I am singing to the rafters that this is the best deal in gaming. Like, awesome. But I have that small little tiny worry. And then another really tiny thing, Everborn, and I want you to jump in. If you're shooting your shots at this clip, those bullets better not start missing, because then the consumer base will come for you. Because come on now, you are now training them to expect this insanity at all times. What do you think?
I mean, I will say, if you paid attention to the ABK court trial, this is what Sony was scared of. That Microsoft would be able to provide the expectation of best in class in a subservice. We're seeing it now. The thing is, like, I think that we can say, you know, what about Expedition 33, and what about, like, they're releasing them too soon, and can they keep up this clip if you build up this expectation? But the issue is,
and
you just heard someone say,
the hammer shouldn't come for me. I'm not saying it's a problem. I see you in there.
No. I
Good
mean,
morning,
it's a you problem. It's a me problem. It's not
yes,
an
it's a you and me
Xbox
problem. That's right. Yes.
Uh,
I'm just wondering. This is just me. This is me thought experimenting. In like 10 years from now, will we look at this time like this? This was the slippery slope towards that inevitability that we don't like. Is that where we're headed?
No,
Right?
no, I don't agree with that viewpoint at all. Like the
Okay.
whole point was they
Mhm.
had this service that sort of the growth matured, and everyone was like they could not keep. They couldn't. They had churn issues. They couldn't keep people up. They couldn't keep up
Mhm.
with people's content expectations, and now they're doing that. And the thing is, this is only an issue if you feel you need to play everything day one,
Everything. That's right. Absolutely. So
right?
so again, it's not even a real, because like we've said it already. Not every game will be for every game. Not everybody
Yeah,
will play
listen,
every.
we just heard
Absolutely.
someone in here say that turn-based games weren't for them, and they're
One for
playing
them.
this.
Absolutely.
And so
Yes.
so this actually, yes, it's an RPG, but it's filling a different niche, right? And we
Mhm,
see that both games are wildly successful. Bethesda announced that this game has 4 million players already. And
Yep.
on the first day it came out, it went up to near 200,000 concurrents.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And that's only on Steam. Forget about PlayStation, Game Pass, and Xbox sales, right? So, I think that this is what the service needs if it is going to grow, right? You need and again, I think that another thing about this is, so we're seeing this keep the same creation engine for all the mechanics of the game, but allowing UE5 to handle the visuals, right? And we saw the same thing happen in the Ninja Gaiden Black.
Gaiden, I suspect we're going to see the same thing happen with Tony Hawk, because that they kind of also did that with the first two, Tony Hawk 1 and 2. Same exact gameplay loop, exact mechanics. They didn't even rebuild it, and then they just put the great new skin of UE5 on top. Yeah.
So my thing is this a tool we're going to see more people using? And is this Tim Sweeney's master stroke to kind of get rid of all the other engines? It's like, just stick the tip in, just use us for the visuals. Next time, why deal with all of that, right? Because who were the stalwarts now? It's Creation Engine, and now they just did a Creation Engine game and threw the UE5 on top of it. Maybe this is a test bed so that Elder Scrolls 6 is just all in UE.
Gas. Oh man, that'd be interesting. He said gas.
But what I will say is, if this is what they're going to do, I'm very interested what Halo Studios will do with the Blam engine. Meaning, I know they're adopting UE5, but will they have the Blam engine for the underpinning so it still feels like Halo, but utilize UE5 for the visuals that they showed us off in that? So
they've done it before.
I would not be opposed to that, right? Look at this guy. Right. This guy's in heaven, Infinite Umbra. UE5 apologist. But yeah, I think that they are doing exactly what they need to do, and it is only my FOMO that is upset about this, because the reality is I play old games all the time. So if I don't get to finishing Avowed this month, maybe I'll get to it in July, because I don't care about Tony Hawk. I know next month I'm going to be playing Doom: The Dark Ages.
How dare you not care about Tony Hawk, man? That is
I don't care about Tony Hawk or GTA, and you know it.
Oh, my God. This guy.
While you guys are all playing that, I will be playing some of these backlog games. So it's like, this is them, I think, hitting all the sort of consumer segments, right? And different niches that people want to play, because it's not just these games. You have the Blueprints that people were talking about, maybe Game of the Year in the service as well, right? So I think this is what they need to do. I hope this is a sign of the future.
Yeah.
And they've got enough stuff in the pipeline that has been cooking for long enough that I think this is just going to be our new normal for the next at least year or two. And you know,
I hope they keep it
can't
up.
complain.
I hope they keep it up. No, I this is the great problem for them to have. I really do think this is a great problem for them to have. Prolific, great name.
And just the only thing, yeah, sorry.
Huh? He says,
I was just gonna say,
fellas.
sorry.
Hashtag
Go ahead,
let them pay more. Not charge them more. Hashtag let them pay more.
Oh, by the way, we just did a new charge them more shirt, by the way.
You did? Okay.
Yes.
You want to see that. Okay. You were saying before I get to the next super chat.
I was saying, like, you know, in the months that they can't keep this up, then you can go back to these games that they dropped back to back. Like, I have not finished Indiana Jones yet. Right? And so I like, even if they take a month off, I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
right?
No, I would
it's
be
going to give me time to try this other stuff. And what's interesting is, like, I don't have a lot of time to play other games because there's so many there, which is an interesting element to competition, right?
Weird place we find ourselves, right?
If time is the competition, then, you know, but no, so I disagree with your premise. I think this is exactly what they need to do. I think there was an issue about them not having games, and now they got them, and now's the time for us to enjoy.
Big Mad Mo, member for 15 months. Salute to you, great sir. He says, shout out to Kayasante and Everborn Saga. This is a great problem to have. Expedition 33 is a great game in living these AA games. Towerborn on my birthday. Oh, you gotta have a great birthday, bro. Happy early birthday to you, good sir. I forgot. See, that's another thing. I forgot about that. You know, Towerborn's there. What was it? What was the other one with the 33 Immortals? Like, it's just so many. Like, man.
Yeah, Windblown is another one that we tried out. It was early access, but like,
yeah, man,
I'd love to get back to it someday. But there's just
right. It's just too many games, bro. And of course, Aaron brings that up as well. I can't wait to play that. The Altars. I played a bit of
Don't forget Exodus as well.
Yeah, you know, the Altars is amazing. So it's working on some systems, man. It's working on some systems. It's interesting, you know.
Now, Kay, you know we have to talk about the Switch 2 pre-order debacle. But if you share my screen for a second, I'll show people the new Charge Them More shirt.
Okay, give me one moment. I will remove and I will present. There you go. He has the new Charge Them More shirt. Good, man. I like that. That's really good.
If you see in the fine print,
what does it say in the fine print? Give them that. Wow. Damn. He's going for it. All right, cool.
So I'm just gonna put a link to that in the chat for whoever wants to charge them more.
There you go. That's it. Everborn. There you go. If you want it, you know where to find it. Get it in the chat right. That's brilliant, sir. Oh, man. I want to see. I want to see a lot of people buy that shirt and put it on the damn internet. That'd be great. Because we were talking about remasters. Let me quickly ask, like, is this hope for this IP? Everybody was so down with this, and we're gonna get to the Nintendo slander in just a quick moment. I saw this, and I thought, does this mean like PlayStation's changing their mind about this IP? Does this excite you in any way, shape, or form? And I am talking about wrong one. Hold on, I gotta remove you and then add you.
By the way, if you get that shirt and you use the GCP code at checkout,
15%,
you will get 15%.
Yeah, that's awesome. Days Gone remastered. Do you care about it? People really love this IP. It seems like these guys are, you know, they're putting some energy back into it. No.
Okay, let me tell you something. I already have this game on PC. I cannot tell the difference between the visual updates that they're talking about they added. And I would not pay another $1 for this game. And again, if Oblivion is a remaster, what is this?
Well, there you go. We're not sure, right? That's what makes these remasters or remakes like such a term that's just thrown in baby with bathwater these days, right? Remaster used to mean something, and remake used to mean something. To me, remake was basically Final Fantasy VII, right? Going back in, remaking the whole thing with the original vision in mind. Whereas a remaster would be manipulating and cleaning up the original source. But these days, it's all mixed in. But yeah, well, I hope this does a thing, right? They're very much in the remaster remake mode. PlayStation is, and clearly, if people buy this thing, maybe that'll incentivize them to make another one. People love this game. It was a term of contention for such a long time. So, like the fact that they're even putting any energy into it is surprising. So,
let me ask you a question. Like, do you think it was like strategic to call it a remaster kind of highlight that people have with everything called remaster?
Your statement, I didn't catch most of it because your mic was a little muffled. Please repeat that last statement.
How's it now?
Much better.
Okay. So do you think it's a little bit of a dig at what other things are calling remasters, why they named it that? Meaning, like, we're going to put something out and tell you it's a remaster. Now you're going to have to think about every other remaster that people are trying to sell you.
Trying to rephrase what a remaster is, like the term of it.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
It's working.
Can you sell a remaster now? A remaster now, and it's not at that level.
Yeah,
as Oblivion.
Right. Exactly. Right. Well, what would you call? Shout out to BT Maverick. What would you call Mass Effect? A remaster or
that was a remaster because Mass Effect didn't get this huge visual update.
True, but they did get an engine change though.
Sure, but that was more of an engine upgrade because it was on UE3 and they moved it to UE4.
And they moved it to 4. That's right. They moved to 4.
Yeah, that's more of an upgrade. I'm gonna still file that under remaster. This is far and above what anyone else has done and titled it a remaster.
Well, okay. So to round out what we were talking about as far as this game, let's just put a button in Clear Obscure and also announce that as of this morning or yesterday morning, it's been announced that it's the highest rated game of 2025.
I mean, what was it going in contention?
What was in contention with? I'm not even sure what was the last really
I don't know if we even had any.
Split Fiction and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which both also sat at 90. So Clear Obscure is at 91 now.
So
no, I'm sorry. Forgive me. Split Fiction, I think, what was it? Yeah, it sits at number 91. Split Fiction and Clear Obscure both at 90. Yeah, so Clear Obscure is at 90 as at 91. Yep.
So
and Blue Prince is also at 91. Okay.
So do we think that Claire Obscure is going to be a shoe-in for a nomination at the Game Awards? We're only halfway. We're not even halfway through the year yet.
Yeah, it's very difficult, bro. It's very difficult, especially considering now that if you've seen and we'll talk about Doom, the Dark Ages. If you've seen some of their news material that they're throwing out there, they're literally just throwing everything at the wall. Like, please see us award people. See, if they don't get something for this one, I don't think they'll ever get one.
Yeah. Barring, listen. If GTA comes out this year, it's going to win Game of the Year, right? So let's just reserve a slot for that. Call that a day. I think that Ghost of Yotei is going to get a nomination, right? And
why do you say that? Because the PlayStation game, or because you think it's quality?
I'm going to leave that to your imagination. I also think that Death Stranding will get a nomination.
I'm listening. My son is coughing in the room. I'll be right back. Keep talking. I'm listening. Go ahead.
So yeah, I think Ghost of Yotei and Death Stranding will get nominations. I think that Split Fiction I'm pretty sure people will still remember it because it already won Game of the Year with the last outing. Obviously GTA, so we've got 4 slots there. If there are 2 more slots, we're talking about, I think Doom goes up there, Dennis Expedition 33, but that's assuming no other surprise hits comes out. So it's gonna be tight this year to make the cut. So I don't know, because we're literally only in April, and you can kind of call out what we think it's going to be now. So I don't know. Chat, what do you think? So here's my list of nominees, right? As of right now, we're in April. It is GTA if it comes out. It is both the Sony exclusives, because Death Stranding and Ghost of Yotei.
What do we know?
Right? It is Doom: The Dark Ages. It is Split Fiction, and up in the air between Blueprints and Expedition 33. But I think Expedition 33 makes the cut, and maybe Blueprints. But
I think Blueprint takes the Balatro
indie
spot.
Game of the Year. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, but here's the thing: did Balatro get nominated for Game of the Year? It didn't, right? It was just like indie game and whatever.
Yeah.
So I think that indie slot that they usually give is just going to go to Split Fiction, right? So I think that right now, Clair Obscur rounds it out.
You really think they'd give it best indie game of the year? Because they've given Hazelight. I mean, they've given his.
That's not what I mean. In the main slot. In the main slot, we're talking about nominations. I'm not making any claims as to who will win. Well, GTA will win if it is there. What I am saying is that they usually reserve an indie slot for the award nominees. And what I'm saying is Hazelight's game will fill that indie slot. So Blueprints won't make it on the Game of the Year list, but it will be on the indie game. So,
and that's where I disagree with you. I disagree with you because like they've given that like Hazelight's games the Game of the Year.
Oh, award. Wait. I'm sorry. Mario Kart World is definitely going to be this year is going to be wild.
Absolutely wild.
All right, listen, chat. You can only pick 6 games, and I want you to assume that GTA is coming, so you can only really choose 5. What 5 games do you think will get nominated? I don't care who will win. Who do you think gets nominated based on what you know about and what has already come out this year? Kay, I'm asking you first. I gave my 6.
Wow, that's tough. Let me see. Let me think about it. Let's see. Definitely Mario Kart World will be in the mix.
Okay.
I would also say Clair Obscur. I would say Clair Obscur. I would say, let me see. We're talking 6, right? Clair Obscur.
You gotta choose 6, but assume GTA's coming out.
Okay. Clair Obscur. I would say Split Fiction. Expedition. Well, let me keep it in mind here. So Expedition 33, Split Fiction, definitely GTA. So that's 3, right? I'm not sure about Blueprints. I'm not quite sure, but enough people have talked about it that while I think it may take the indie game of the year, I suspect that it may get a nomination on the big stage as well, because enough people have said it, right? Those who are saying Avowed, I don't see Avowed in that list. I'm sorry.
It'll get nominated for the RPG category, but it's not going to win.
But not Game of the Year.
33. Yeah. It's not. It might not even win over Oblivion.
Yeah, exactly. I would say definitely Mario Kart World is in the mix as well. I would say also, and the 5th one would be probably Ghost of Yotei.
Well, you get to choose 6 because you already spoke about. Go ahead, because you added GTA. Just go ahead.
Okay, so the 6th one, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I've played enough of the games that people would consider AAA fodder for these kind of awards. I haven't played enough of them yet to make a determination. Like for example, I know like Infinite Number right now saying the Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. It's on my list. I haven't played it yet, right? So I don't know. I don't know, right? And while I love Oblivion, I don't know. I don't think it should get any of that. Like maybe it should get a
Elden
best
Ring
remake
shouldn't have got
category,
certain stuff, but it,
right?
it's not gonna stop it
But
from
of
getting in
course,
there.
it is what it is. So I think up until now, maybe those are my 5. My 6 is a little bit more dubious.
Okay, so this year's tough, man. This year's gonna be tough.
Yeah. Nerds brings up Indiana Jones.
Yeah, but it's not getting nominated. Not in the year of our Lord 2025. So let's
it's finally released on PlayStation.
Yeah, but once again, listen, maybe if let me I'm gonna go back on my list.
Right? Umbra, you know damn well that Mario Kart World
is going to be nominated, and
Forza Horizon 5 won't even be spoken of. Okay.
So all right, let me revise a little bit. All right, GTA, assuming it comes out. Then we're gonna go Mario Kart World. Then we are gonna go Doom: The Dark Ages. Then we are gonna go. I'm gonna leave out Death Stranding 2 and still keep Ghost of Yotei, because people just love. But again, it's not. This is the other thing. You know what? I'm changing my mind. I'm taking off both the Sony games. All right, so let's do it again. GTA, right? Mario Kart, Split Fiction, Doom: The Dark Ages.
Really?
Right? Expedition 33. That's 5, right? And I already said GTA. So what is
no Donkey Kong love?
I don't know if they're gonna give it love. These aren't my picks. This is what, like, me being a pragmatist. This is the thing. When we did the guest last year, as a matter of fact, we should move on from this topic because it's too early in the year to have it. I just thought it was a fun discussion. I don't think AC Shadows is getting nominated. I don't think
really.
So.
You don't think so? Wow.
For game of the year.
I think it'll get nominated. Not game of the year, but I think you will see some nominations from it.
Of course, it's going to see nominations, but will it be? Anyways, fun 5-minute detour. Let's get back to the.
So while we're on the 5-minute, we're on the fun detour. Let me also take this opportunity to. It's news, but it's also something notable to make sure that the community is aware of. And what am I talking about? I am talking about the Xbox community showcase watch party. This, as most people know, that Xbox had announced that their watch party, their normal proceedings would not be going forward as they normally do every year. But the great Ben Kenobi, awesome member community, people who really, really love him. Or if you don't know him, he's been on the show. He's the man who's purveyor of all coins, the master of coin himself. It's like, nope, we are not letting this year pass by without having another showcase, a watch party. Usually he's part of those proceedings. So he's hunting down all, he's going into the mental Rolodex and pulling out all the stops and talking to all the people he knows and putting on a show. They found a venue and everything. And I mean, it's looking interesting. You know what I'm saying? You got Larry Herb asking if you need a host. You got Aaron Greenberg wanting to help out any way they can. It looks like it'll be super interesting. So I feel bad that I can't go. If you happen to be in LA and you're going to be able to head out there, it'd be really cool. I would love to show up there and maybe it becomes big enough that next year we'll be a part of it. That'd be awesome. But yeah, I wanted to let folks know. So Everborn, what do you think? Is this something you would want to go to 2026? What do you think? Or is it all depending on, how this thing turns out? Uh-oh. Do we lose Everborn Saga? You probably
no. I said we'll see. I'm not going to any Xbox events till they fix the PC app. That's my stance.
Oh, wow. That is the slanderous stance. Okay. Fantastic. Well, let's move on.
Controller first, UI, or go home, or I stay home.
Mm-hmm. Well, so I want to talk about Doom: The Dark Ages. I do. There's been some little controversies and things that have happened there. But before I did read this article this morning that I thought was kind of interesting, and I just wanted to let people know that you should read it as well. It basically Jez saying it was pretty funny, saying that basically the conversation we've already had just now. Game Pass is a great service. I love his subtitle being, yes, I am giving Game Pass even more flowers. No, I'm not taking questions at this time unless you post them at the bottom of the comments. So there you go. It's an awesome read talking about the historic rise, all the great new games that are being found in that service, and how more people should pay attention to it. I combine that with and I wanted to bring this up to you, everyone. You haven't had a chance to see it. This is just another PSA of that I wanted to bring to the people, and I actually advocate that you also watch it. And what am I talking about? I am talking about something that, and I combine this talk with I try to make it non-political, but this is Tech Jesus. He calls it the death of the affordable computer. And this is not just computers. This is like your handhelds. This is like your Aya Neos. This is like all your retro handhelds and all those other things that may not show up at Best Buy or your regular American stores. This story goes in depth on like what basically it means when these tariffs are in place and how it affects them and all that. He interviews a bunch of people in the supply chain and all this. Thing was dropped a few days ago. Over 1 million views already. He knows what he's talking about. If all this tech stuff interests you, I suggest you go and you check it out for yourself. Everyone, Saga, have you checked this out? Have you seen this, by the way?
It is on my watch later list on YouTube.
Okay. It's very informative stuff, super interesting stuff. It puts a face to the names and the companies and all that. Really, really, really like interesting stuff. It'll, I think it's useful for our audience. It'll educate you on stuff like pipelines and supply chains and how and why they keep prices low and stuff like that. It's really, really cool. So I think it's an important thing that more gamers and people in general should be paying attention to. I will post it in our show notes when I post this thing live. So definitely check it out. It is a long one. Yes, Lucius is no doubt right. It's like 3 hours long. It's about the length of the damn podcast. So strap in. But it is important, and I think more people should be checking it out. But all right, so Everborn, I want to talk to you about Doom: The Dark Ages, okay? And why I want to talk to you about this is because yes, Doom is coming out. Doom is awesome. We are waiting for Doom to be released. We're expecting Doom to be really, really cool. They have been doing some interesting marketing in preparation of Doom, right? And obviously, the cat's out the bag. We already know they're putting games everywhere. This has been a thing that we've known for a while now, right? It's all well and good. But recently, as recently as what, 2 days ago or 3 days ago? Was it 2 days? No, it was a day ago. A day ago, they released both on Twitter and on their YouTube channel. And by their YouTube channel, I mean the PlayStation YouTube channel. Almost like a marketing sizzle reel of Doom: The Dark Ages, interesting like screenshots and little screen captures, and then a quick chat with the developers about how the game will run and how great the game will look on PlayStation 5. So I feel like and I think there was an IGN one. I'm not sure. I haven't watched all of them. I saw one of them. I didn't see both, but I feel like there's been some dissenting reports about it. But needless to say, and I'm playing a bit of it right now. It's only 5 minutes long. Some folks in our Discord were a little bit miffed, I will say, because this was their red line. And what do I mean by their red line? Their red line being, it looks like they're now spending time and or effort marketing to the PlayStation faithful, but similar effort was not paid to the Xbox faithful, because this was solely a marketing beat that landed in the YouTube channel of the PlayStation Store and nowhere else. right? So that's the pushback that I've heard about this, and I've watched the videos, and to be fair, historically they have done that, right? Where a new piece of PR is released, and then it's quickly chopped up to where if you're on a PlayStation, you see PlayStation logos and iconography and the buttons and all of that. And if you're and on your Xbox, you see that. And now that's a change, right? So, Everborn, what do you think? Is there much to do about nothing? Do people have a problem? Do you have a right to be upset? What were your thoughts?
You got to move on, man. She doesn't love you anymore. Not like she used to. She wants to be for the streets, and you can't save her. Take your cape off. Stop standing out outside of her window at night with flowers, playing the old mixtapes you used to listen to. You gotta let it go, man. She's trying to live her life and be her best self.
But we want footage that say captured on Xbox. All we see is footage that say captured on PlayStation Pro.
So what? So
why are we not a snowflake?
They're trying to sell it to the people on PlayStation. Right?
I love Big Mad Mo. He said hashtag you pay I play. This man's out here.
They're trying to sell it to these people for full price. And so they're giving them a little bit of lubrication. For fun Saturday night. Okay.
Damn. Lubrication, he says. Okay. So you think this is much ado about nothing? No one should be complaining.
I think this already happened, and if you had an issue about it, we all voiced our concerns about it, but you knew this was happening. And if you're gonna sell it there, if you're gonna support an endpoint, then support the endpoint. You're not gonna half behind the support. You decided to support those customers. You're charging them full price. You're charging them the premium price, so they get the premium treatment.
Yeah.
What you get is the game on Game Pass. Everybody knows it's on Game Pass. They're not telling the people on PlayStation that it's on Game Pass because they want them to spend $70 for the game.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
Nerds in the chat says from what I heard, PlayStation paid the production of that video specifically for PlayStation Pro,
and they got charged more. So what the PlayStation is, it is not the best place to play Xbox games. That's the PC. PlayStation is the most expensive way to play Xbox games. Right?
I love how you speak in terms that make console warriors happy. I appreciate you.
Stop worrying about this stuff. They are supporting the PS5, right? The game is a day and date multi-platform release. You know it's coming to Game Pass. They are trying to sell it to these people, so they have to market to those people. And not a great way to market it is saying we're going to give you the worst version of the game.
Yep. So let's continue down this line a little bit, right? This led down, and this is Discord conversation. So again, cheap plug, join the Discord, be a part of the conversation. It's all good, right? So this led to conversations where, like, if you recall back in the past, the whole parody clause thing, parody this, that, and the third, between this and like what do you call it, Forza looking better, as you recall. Remember, I think you were part of that conversation. Forza either having some level of fidelity or whatever on the PlayStation, it made some folks a little bit perturbed, but clearly I as you know,
they were perturbed, they were upset.
It vexed some people.
I'm sorry.
Oh man,
I'm not sorry, but like,
oh wow, yeah, there you go. Yes. There we go. People gonna come for you in the Discord, man.
Good.
Anyway,
yes. But yes. Listen, the at the end of the day, there's a PS5 Pro, which has more GPU than the Series X, and so on the base PS5 versus the Series X, the resolution is actually high.
I'm sorry. That email is wild, sir. Good job.
Only I can do it.com. I like it.
That's great.
But once again, base PS5 versus Series X, they run virtually the same, but the Series X has a higher overall resolution. It's like 1800p versus 2160, right? And so that's just numbers, because the GPU is a little bit better on the Series X versus the base PS5. But Xbox never released a Pro. So if you're going to support the PS5 Pro, you shouldn't gimp it. You're supporting that endpoint. That would be like, we're not going to give you PC settings on PC because we don't want anything to look better than our own hardware. It doesn't make sense. You're supporting the endpoint. You do what
PlayStation did that once.
Yeah, sure, but PlayStation isn't trying to be a third-party publisher. Although, unless you count everything they're doing on PC, they have 24 games on PC. But once again, like, if your real issue is that they're supporting the endpoint, but once you've crossed that Rubicon, you need to support the features that the endpoint has.
Then you need to support it properly.
Simple.
Absolutely. I agree. But yes, let's keep it moving. I y'all know how I feel about it, but some folks have genuine concerns, and there are those among us that use that for ridiculous talking points. Not everybody's that way, so it's worth a conversation, needless to say. But let us get to the last story of the day, because
it better be these Switch pre-orders,
which is exactly where we're going. This is exactly where we're going, because running low on fuel, so we're gonna get this thing done.
That's why you need an electric car, baby.
Shout out to all the great folks who joined us for our Five Fingers event, or F5 event. That's what we'll call it, where we literally jumped online. We were in the Discord. Great number of folks from all over the community joined us. We got ourselves ready, prepared, this, that, and the third, and we're able to acquire a bunch of different consoles for those who wanted it. But yeah, it was a bit of a disaster.
Okay, I'm gonna use my one for today. It was a shit show. Out and out.
Yeah, that it was. Yeah, that it was. Everborn, give us your experience. I'll give you mine. Go ahead, you first.
Okay, so these are also reasons you should join the Discord, because we had a very fun time. We made a special channel in the Discord for pre-orders, so a lot of us stayed up until midnight. This was very fun. Usually, the last time I did this, like for a midnight thing, was actually the first Switch. I actually waited outside a Best Buy to get it, and then with the PS5 and Series X, I did the pre-order online. But to kind of replicate that waiting online outside, we all got together in the Discord. It was a large call. Maybe there were 10 or 15 of us in there. And when it went live, we were basically just kind of F5ing all this. The name of the channel was F5 Fingers. It was hilarious. So we all got there. And what I would like to point out is that half the people that were in there ripping their hair out when things went to the pisser. These people were the ones telling you Nintendo is charging too much. They were saying drop the price. They were saying they don't agree with the $80 games, and they were scraping and scrambling. When Target went belly up, when Walmart put us in the queue, when Best Buy didn't open up till almost 1 o'clock in the morning, right? We were all losing our minds, and it was so much panic buying that people started buying multiple as soon as they came available.
So to be fair,
the idea was, hold on, let me finish. The whole point was, if you get an extra and someone else isn't lucky, then we would just say, okay, give me what I paid for it. We'll send it to you. So a lot of the reason that's why a lot of us bought multiple was just to help out the other people that were in.
Absolutely. And to be fair,
but it was
I will not allow you to slander me.
This is why you should come to the Discord, because we do stuff like that.
I will not allow you to slander me as one of those because I walked in already securing my pre-order, sir.
It didn't mean you wasn't scraping and scrambling just like the rest of us, sir. I
It
already
was
secured
fun.
one for my sister who pre-ordered it for me in France. But the extras were, I got to get one for my kid. I want to get one in case anybody doesn't get one. So if I get through, that means somebody else got through. But the point is, a lot of people was in there pretending they was too cool for school, and then when the rubber met the road,
man.
They were scraping and scrambling.
Come on. To be fair, you can criticize something and still love it, right? You can. You can. No one was saying, oh my God, this thing is terrible. This thing is trash. I'm not buying it. No one was saying that. People were saying drop the price, sure. People were saying it's too much, too expensive, sure.
More important, they were saying it wasn't worth the money, and then where'd they end up?
You can say all that and still buy it. Just because the fire is hot doesn't mean you don't put your hand in it. It'll still burn you, but you still did it. Okay. Doesn't mean it's not hot. Both can be true.
A lot of people folded. That's all I'm saying. Right. Now,
both can be true.
Another funny thing about it, because it was midnight, and this is myself included, I could not speak.
Oh yeah.
I had the laptop in bed next to my wife, trying not to wake her up because we both wake up at 5:30 in the morning. And I'm over here hitting F5, and then when Target goes live, I get off of mute, and I'm like, it's live. And then it wakes her up, and she looks over at me with the death stare. Because not only am I waking her up on the laptop in the middle of the night at past midnight, it's because I'm trying to pre-order something for $500 that I already have one coming. So I'm never going to hear the end of it, but it was worth it.
So I had a similar story. I'm downstairs in my office, so when I speak, it sometimes resonates. We have an open floor plan. Needless to say, I saw my email, my text chain later was not pretty. Needless to say, it was a fun time I had by all. I will ask you people in the chat. Let's see what your thoughts are. Nintendo Switch 2. Did you get one? Either hell yeah, hell no, PCMR. Pick one. We appreciate it. Tell us what was yours.
I want to know in the chat how many. Because a lot of people needed multiple. Personally, I needed at least 2 for me and my daughter, and the third was the giveaways. I'm not giving anything away, but the third was to community support.
So I was able to secure 3 of them, and 2 will obviously go to different community members. I've already promised it to 2 different community members who, we ain't trying to scalp nobody. We're just helping people out. So ultimately, I'll be left with 1.
Yeah, whatever we paid, you pay plus whatever it costs.
To you. Exactly. Right. Damn. Aaron's like 1 console and 10 Piranha.
I am not gonna lie. I kind of wanted that Piranha camera, but it's only 480p.
Bro,
it's weird.
All their cameras are terrible. Like
no, but like some of them are 1080p. I'm just pointing out that the Piranha camera is less resolution than the main
and the others. Yeah. Someone's got to release one that's actually proper good resolution and the Piranha. Like that's what we need right now. Anyway.
Oh, did you get a Pro controller? I also got a Pro controller and a
I have not gotten any of those things. Because those things will not be sold out. Like accessories will be back. Right.
Yeah,
it's just a console that will be gone.
No. Yeah, but I wanted it day one. I don't want to have to go outside. Oh, I need to tell you a story.
Okay.
Because the dudes at GameStop tried to finesse me. Now, I walk into GameStop. I ordered something from, like, I was waiting for some food to be ready, but there happened to be a GameStop in the same strip mall or whatever. So I walked over while I was waiting. And I'm just asking, like, for science. Not that I didn't have a plan to get one already. Not that I didn't know all the information. Not that one wasn't already being sent to me. And this was before the pre-order. This was like the Monday, and it was being pre-ordered on the pre-orders went live on Wednesday. So I said, "Hey, man, when do the pre-orders start?" Again, I already knew the answer. I was just asking him to kind of make small talk. This mofo said, "I don't know." I was like,
What?
"You lying son of a." He's no, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm lying. I'm getting the story mixed up. He said he didn't say I don't know. He said the 28th.
Oh wow, he gave you a wrong answer.
And I said, nah, homie. Here's the Nintendo site right here. It says the 24th. From GameStop, Best Buy, Walmart, Target.
See, and
Like,
this is when
hold on.
Uh-huh.
Then he says, "Oh, I just knew it was a Thursday." And then I said, wait a minute. Wait a minute, Chief. All right. Let me ask you a question. Are you guys gonna open midnight for the pre-order? Like Best Buy? He was like, no, it's the next day when we open. I said, cool. What time do you open? He says, I don't know. I don't work that day. Listen, I was about to turn into the Black Karen. But I was like, you know what? My food's ready. And Best Buy will probably be out of business in the next 18 months. So,
oh man, that is terrible, sir. And they should be, he says. Jesus.
No,
but sir.
The 28th, and then I don't know what time they. Come on.
See, this is the moment when you should have then revealed that you actually work for GameStop as well, and that you are like a secret shopper or whatever, and that this is like unacceptable, and that they're getting fired now.
Somebody told me they probably thought I was I'm a scalper.
You're a scalper?
Don't regular people want to know when this thing is coming out? Like,
yeah, what? I would think so. I would think so, right?
But that's weird. My anyway. That's my GameStop story and why I hate that company and will never shop there.
It's very strange.
I'm really just salty that I didn't get in on the GME stock craze for that for that Robinhood thing that happened.
So that's the reason why you hate them. They suck now because
no. They've always sucked, and I think they do terrible things when people are trying to trade in their game, especially kids. I remember what Funko Land did to me, left me in tears.
See, Pragmatic Eagle says, stop making common sense, man. What's wrong with you? Small talk is not necessary. Don't do that.
Pragmatic Eagle, we are not on X. We're not on Elon's internet. So that is where common sense does make, where you can't talk.
That's where common sense goes to die?
Yes. Here,
so
we try to talk some sense.
So let me see where the poll is right now. We have had a subset of the audience weigh in right now. And with that subset right now, we have 34% say, hell yeah, day one, they getting one. 59% say hell no. And of that 59, and then an additional 6% say PCMR, which tells you that that's also part of the 59%. So it's over 62%.
And that tells you only 6% of the handheld market will be PC handhelds.
Oh, the hell no is growing. That's growing. So there you go. This is one of those situations, man. It is what it is. But yeah, man, I honestly think that we should continue to talk about and think about the Switch, because as everyone in our Discord keeps talking about, even though it may be lesser powerful, lesser capable hardware and whatnot, sooner rather than later, it's going to be here in your hands, and it's going to be a viable replacement for the existing environment, right? Whether it's like going to hold gaming back or not remains to be seen, but it's definitely going to be seen as a contender, right? Unless you disagree. Do you think it's not going to be that way? You think it's going to go back to Switch One territory?
I think that for a good year or two, it will be able to keep up with things that are happening, and it will just be a matter of scaling without reducing scope. But as time goes on, I think there's a real, I think we're gonna end up in a place like where we were with the Switch One, where people have to do extra things or reduce scope if you're gonna target that endpoint. Yep. But again, who knows? You know, with the way games are being made these days, with scaling in mind, you know, maybe it won't be an issue. And because again, what I'm saying is, because everything targets PC these days, and a lot of people are keeping in mind not just the Switch 2, but other PC handhelds, that being one of the fastest growing markets or whatever, or market segments. I think that games today are built to scale. So maybe it won't be a matter of holding it back. It'll just be a matter of Vaseline textures at a certain point.
Which I guess that's the question you must ask yourself. What's better, Vaseline textures or holding back gaming? It is what it is. Okay.
Hey man.
But
the only thing is what is very interesting. An interesting question is, for those that are getting the Switch 2, will you, because this is the new thing that the Switch 2 offers, it is now able to play third party. Will any of you who are getting the Switch 2 be buying third party games? Meaning these are games that you can get on your Xbox, your PlayStation, or your PC. Will you be buying your third party games on the Switch, or will it just be a first party secondary device for you?
So if I had set up my soundboard that I have in front of me, which is lying dormant, I would have pressed the button and you would have just heard, "Oh hell no!"
Oh, I thought you were going to do a laugh track.
No. There's no way I'm doing that. I mean, like, for the longest time, even in Switch 1 world, where they have awesome indie games and this, that, and the third, every time I watch a Nintendo Direct style of anything, most of those games end up on Game Pass. Like most, 85%, right? So I end up just like watching it, and the rest of them are on Steam, or it's exclusive on Switch, and the first parties, they are what they are, which is cool, right? So more often than not, I end up playing them in those other locations anyway. I mean, if the hardware comes out and proves to be resilient beyond its age, beyond its means, hey, maybe more happens there. I don't see it right now, right? I hear the whole Cyberpunk situation. I think it's a novelty. It's great, fine. If you really cared about it, you would have played it by now on more capable hardware. So for me, I will play awesome indies there. Maybe I'll find some third-party indies there, but like to use that as my main third-party indie machine, I doubt it.
So can you highlight Aaron's comment? I think that's a good thing to bring up. So Aaron says absolutely yes. Remember how important the first Switch was for so many small indies who found success there. I believe I will use Switch 2 for the same reason. Hello, hundreds of hours of dead cells.
Yes.
So here's the thing about that.
When I say third parties, I don't mean that. I like when I say the indies are a different breed for me. When I say third parties, I'd mean, I don't know, Expedition 33,
Cyberpunks, right?
Technically is an indie,
right?
You know,
like a Final Fantasy, right? So
exactly.
But here's the thing. I like when we talk about the early days of the Switch, Aaron is absolutely correct. But what happened towards the end of that life cycle, right? Like I just did an application to get access to the OG Switch dev kit. And because I wasn't connected to any like known publisher, they were like, no, right? I don't have that problem on Steam. So to me, when I see one of those indie games that is not a Nintendo first party or some Nintendo exclusive, there's no chance I'm buying it on the Switch. And I'm super excited about the Switch, but 10 times out of 10, I'm buying that on Steam. Why? Because it gives me more options as to where I can play it. I can play it in the mini PC in the living room. I can play it on the handheld. I can play it in the big 4090 that's in the bedroom, right? And 9 times out of 10, I can get it for cheaper than what it's going to be on the Switch. But to the indie developer, if you look at the revenue generated on Switch and what percentage of it comes from first party, is the Switch still a boon to indie developers as it was back in from 2017 till 2020, right? Or are they finding more success in Steam? I don't know the answer to that question, but I think we're in a different world now with indie developers being able to get access to audiences in a world that is, obviously the Steam Deck didn't sell a lot.
Lucius is correct here too. Indie games, and this is not a problem that was there at the beginning of this life cycle, but it has proved to be a problem now where indie games are struggling on the Steam store because this on the Switch, because discoverability is really terrible at that store.
This is a tried and true thing with successful platforms. Like so when we talk about the 360 who brought us Xbox Live Arcade, which was so instrumental to the growth and discovery of indie game devs, right? And then they got super big, and with the Xbox One, at least in the beginning, because they got big, they didn't need them anymore, so they didn't have to worry about it. PlayStation, PS3, not great for some would argue like really bad for indie devs, because like Live Arcade is where it's at if you are indie dev, but they corrected that problem in the beginning of the PS4 days. And as soon as they saw that success, that wild success with the PS4, you started hearing indie devs complain. And so Nintendo, when they were the challenger secondary brand with the Switch came out, before it was the sure thing success, all about the indie devs. Now, not as great, right?
It's a cyclical thing.
Right. As soon as people see success, they use the indie devs when they need them, and then
they get rich and Switch, as someone has said.
Exactly. So, I just, long story short, I think it's a different world now with indie devs, and they can speak to that more than I can. But again, people do spend a lot of money on the Switch, so whether they're hostile towards you or not, as a developer, if you have an access to a high money spending audience, of course you're going to want to be there, and of course that's going to be great help. Personally, the Switch 2 will still be a first party only device for me.
And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. So let me see where the poll is. Okay, so now I think I'm gonna close the poll out with 43 votes.
Well, hold on really quick. Sorry. I just want to answer Aaron really quick. If you could go to his comment, one of the reasons why the small developers. So he says, one of the reasons why small developers found success on the Switch is Nintendo's marketing, where the PC handhelds don't even have 1% of that. I think he means Nintendo's market, not their marketing, because one of the issues indie devs have is that, again, discoverability, and they're not getting the marketing from Nintendo. And then his next comment says, this means not only that smaller devs can charge more for the portability, they can also reach out to larger audiences. I believe that will continue. So yeah, he meant market reach. So the thing is, yes, absolutely. The only thing I would add to that is we've seen exponential growth of the PC market, and more people are gaming on PC versus what it was in 2017, right? And so it's entirely possible that, and again, we can't just compare indie games on Steam to the Steam Deck itself, right? Because a lot more people are just gaming on PC, whether it's their laptops, whether it's their at their desk with a desktop. I know very few people are doing what I do, which is connecting the PC to the TV, but people do that. And so what I'm saying is, with the market reach of Steam itself across the board, right? Laptop, desktop, handheld, mini PC, whatever you want, that market is overall larger than the Switch. And I know not all of them are going to be into these games, and a lot of people on PC are playing older games, as Matthew Ball's industry report shows. I'm only saying that it may still be the same, that the most success they find is on the Switch. Like, this is probably why what do you call it, part 2 is a Switch exclusive. Well, not a console exclusive, is on the PC in early access. What game am I thinking of? The roguelite
Sure.
that everybody loves?
Are you talking about No Rest for the Wicked, right?
No.
Okay.
The one where you're going to Hades. Yeah, Hades. So I'm only saying that the market dynamics have changed. Will Nintendo still dominate with the indies? We shall see. But I think Steam is a formidable foe.
They always have been. They're the easiest
as it
path
relates to indie games.
The easiest path of development is Switch, is Steam, right? It is basically low hanging fruit. Every dev tool comes basically with a default way to deploy to Switch to Steam. They just kind of benefit from that, right? So that as we've spoken to many an indie dev, their default speed in the indie space is to put it on Steam, and once they hopefully they've generated enough revenue, that then spurs them to be able to then deploy it or port it to other studios. So no, you're absolutely not wrong. You know, Steam is that catch-all when it comes to indie development these days.
Yeah, and
let me close the poll out.
And I just don't think we should compare only Steam Deck and PC handhelds to the Switch when we're talking about what will be a benefit to indie devs. I think you have to look at all
comparison.
Yeah.
With 48 votes in, the hell yes is 27%, and 67% say hell no, and then PCMR is 6%. So clearly our audience is not a Nintendo audience. Don Otaku will come for y'all. Kind of, but yes, I for one am excited for the Switch 2. I'm excited to see what they do. The hardware is what the hardware is. I have more performant hardware here now, but that doesn't mean anything. That's just part of the story. So, you know, just like I'm loving my Aya Odin 2 Portal right here, which from a hardware perspective is not as powerful as some of the x86 devices I have, but it's playing some games better than all the other devices that I have. So we'll see what goes on there. I'm excited to put it through its paces and maybe show more content here. You know, them Nintendo ninjas wild, so we always got to be careful, but we'll do the best we can. But I think that's it, man. I think that's it. I got to cut it out because I'm a little tired, and I too must go back to Expedition 33. So, Mr. Everborn Saga, sir, where can folks keep up with your ongoings on the internet moving forward, sir?
Discord or everbornsaga.com, where you can buy the new Charge Them More t-shirt.
You know, I might actually pick one of those shirts up, man. It's gonna be interesting. Maybe we rock that at PAX East.
Speaking of PAX East, I am. While you do that, by the way, I got the confirmation email about the press badge.
You got yours too?
Yeah, I got that last night.
Sweet.
So I'm gonna share my screen again because we just did a whole new summer line of clothing. So if you guys want to go and check out everbornsaga.com, you can get some discounts here. So if you want to, yes, there we go. All right, here's the website. You know, we do the comics and all that jazz, but you know that already. But I would like you guys to see the new apparel line for the summer. So some of you have seen these before, but now we've got some new stuff. For example,
yo, that dude who's modeling your clothes, tell him to be a little happier, man. He's wearing a nice shirt. He needs to be a little happy about it.
How about this lady?
There you go. Much better.
So this is our new Ariel's Adventure t-shirt by Champion. Comes with the C logo on the side, just so you know it's a Champion thing. This is what the shirt looks like. All right. So this is one of them. $24.95. Which is cheaper than the Adidas shirts, but the Adidas are super high quality. We just did this new bucket hat. Ariel looks like he has a little bit of a tan here, but that is
Ariel's looking a little bit boondocksy, bro.
Yes,
I'm just saying.
That's because you only get a certain number of colors, so that you can do this. This is sewn in.
I'm just saying. All we need to do now is just switch out the hair for a bit of a fro, and now we talking about Huey Huey Freeman and all that. You know what I'm saying?
So this one's $29.99. By the way, once again, everything's 15% off. If you use checkout code GCP. This is another one. The axe forgets, but the tree remembers. It's an old African proverb, but we use it in the comic. Godwin says it.
Dorian Gray says you need to make some French outfits and charge them 33% more.
I see what you did. I see what you did there. This one is by Adidas. It's $39.99 because Adidas is giving you some high quality stuff here. And there's a few more. I won't bore you much more with this stuff, but there's some cool stuff here. I really like this sweater. All right, this is a champion sweater. Really
and again, your man's he's just a little too hard right now on a Saturday morning. He need to calm down. Anyway.
All right. And this one's serious.
I like that. Yeah, that's real cool. Now, these are all designs that you and the artist put together.
Yes, correct. A lot of it is like panels we pulled directly from the comics, but yeah. So this is each of our series. We've got the Redlands, Ariel's Adventure, and Prince of Arcadia. So
very nice.
This
bro.
one is.
I would like to see some people wearing this. People now. I've already said this to you, everyone. You want to see me rocking more of these things? V-neck tee, please. Thank you. Have a nice day.
You said a V-neck?
The damn right.
I can make that happen.
Hey,
and here's the last one. We got the dad hat.
Okay.
With the patch on it.
That's right. Very nice.
So, yeah. Anyway, we put a lot of work into the new designs. It's the 2025 summer line. We try to change them up every 6 months. So we only have these designs right now, and by the end of the year, we'll switch it up again, and then these ones will go away. So try to keep things spicy.
How about you check out the stuff, right? Maybe when you're there, you use GCP at checkout, you save 15%. And then when you happen to get the cool swag, get on the damn internet and tell some people about it. Tag us in it. We would love to see y'all in your natural habitat rocking that good stuff. We appreciate it. It's awesome, man. Otherwise, where else can people keep up with you, sir?
In the Discord. We are in there almost every day when we should be working.
Absolutely, we are. Myself included. You can catch me in that Discord as well. As I said, we will be heading to PAX East. So if you happen to be close in that area and you may want to check out PAX East yourself, let us know where you are. Let us connect. Maybe we'll get a drink or something. We'll do an in-person meetup. If you happen to see us on the floor, absolutely. We want to see you. We want to meet y'all IRL. It's always great to meet the people who support the channel and support our work here. So yeah, man.
I think only be there on Saturday and Sunday in case anybody's looking at me on Thursday and Friday.
I'll be there on Thursday and Friday. I'll be there for the whole duration. But y'all, you can catch myself. The team, Everborn and myself, will be there on Saturday and Sunday. So yeah, if you happen to be in the East Coast, Boston, you want to come check us out, you'll definitely see us there. You might even see Hargeet Chani, who will also be in the spot, which will be really cool. So that's it for us this week. I think I'm gonna go and drink some chamomile tea, rest the voice box, and then head back to old Expedition 33. I said that one just so that Aaron would wake up again. Aaron, I agree with you. Expedition 33 is a masterpiece. We shall talk next week. But that's it, man. Peace.
Nice to be in orbit.